Hey, friends. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Are we there? No, not quite yet. Oh, there I am. Hello, everybody. I don't know if anyone's here yet. I'm here. I see somebody named Margaret is watching. So we will get started as soon as we have a few more friends join us. So, Miss Margaret, can you make a comment so I can make sure I see comments, please? Pretty please. Pretty please. Hello from Michigan. Hi, Terry. How are you? So, the comments I see on the computer monitor are through this app we use. And unless you give the app permission to show your name, it doesn't. So then what I do is I look at Facebook and I see your name. And that's why I look down, because I'm watching comments on Facebook. Oh, Vegas won the Stanley Cup. Hey, Lola. Hey, Miss Fancy Pants. Hi, Terry. Getting a few more people. Hey, Mickey. So we're finally getting some sunny weather in California. You know, it's been pretty gloomy. But that's normal for June. We'll see what the summer holds. Last year it was pretty darn hot. So we'll see what this summer's like. Because, I don't know, we had a nice cool winter, so maybe we'll have a cooler summer. Who knows, right? Oops. Hi, Miss Connie. How are you? Give it a couple more minutes. So, tonight, I'm going to demo how I did this. I'm going to show you how I created the cut file, or whatever you want to call it. Hey, Dorothy from Michigan. But I'm going to use my file to cut it, because it's hard to create the exact same cut file as twice. So once you create it, it's hard to recreate it, right? So, and I want it to be nice or all matchy because it's for the store. Well, ultimately it's for the store. So anyway, tonight we're going to work on a patriotic, what do you call this, bunting? I call it banner, but I guess some people call it bunting. So I'm going to have 5 of these little banners. Oops, where's the other one? There you go. 5 of these in total. And the back is also fabric, but it's not sewn. So what I did was I fused Floriani applique to my main fabric. So this fabric has Floriani applique applied to it. Oh no, Topeka's hot. Oof, I don't like hot. So it has Floriani applique applied to it. So what this does is it'll prevent it from, thank you, Mickey, it'll prevent it from fraying. So once I have it cut, I'm going to cut the mirror image. Oh, by the way, this is the one with the Floriani applique is going to be cut on the standard mat with the standard black auto blade. Then the backing is fabric that is like Terrial Magicked a lot. And this one is going to be cut on the fabric mat with the fabric blade. So tonight the tools we're using, standard mat, which is a purple one, which I'll show you a little bit in overhead, with the black blade, the fabric mat with the gold blade, and a brayer, probably tape, because you know I like tape. And then can you see that? I taped the tape written on there, mirror, because it's going to the back and you need it mirrored. So one of them I made at home, I forgot to mirror it. I was like, oh, darn it. So that's what we're doing. And I'm just going to sew this rickrack on it. And I was going to sew it, but some of you already know there was a sad thing that happened to my sewing room. I'll just tell you the story. So I was cooking dinner the other night, and I had my vent fan on, and I heard this noise that sounded like a crash. And I was like, what the heck was that? And the dog didn't tell me what it was, so I forgot about it, really. And then yesterday I went into the sewing room, and I found out what the crash was. It was this big shelf that is probably like almost 5 foot long, and it had speakers on either end, so it's heavy. And of course, I had it loaded up with a lot of stuff. But in my defense, it'd been loaded up with a lot of stuff for like 20 years, and it was still hanging. Anyway, the shelf fell. All that stuff that was on it went all over my sewing room floor. And the shelf landed right on my Solaris. It was leaning on the Solaris on that, how you open up that tray? It was leaning right on that. So, I'm like, oh my God. So I got the shelf off, and mere miracles, it didn't break anything. I think the one spool pin might be a little and I turned it on, it turned on, I did something in IQ, it did fine. I just haven't sewn on it yet, so I'll have to try that on Thursday. Anyway, so that's it. Long story short, my sewing room was a disaster. I couldn't even hardly walk in it, so there's no way I was getting to the sewing machine to sew the banner. Long story. Anyway, so let's get started. So I'm going to switch you over to I know, oh no, wasn't even an earthquake. I don't know. They just decided I'm tired, I'm letting go. Hey, Lynette. Here we go. So here's our standard mat. Here's our fabric mat. So we're going to start out with the standard mat. I think I'll only cut one of these at a time. I actually don't even have to. Sorry, I'm going to go off camera a little bit. Move this over till I need it. I'm only going to cut one at a time because sometimes if you put too much on the mat, it could drag, and when you're doing fabric, you don't really want to do stuff like that. So I'm going to brayer it down like always. And, safety comes first. So I'm going to tape it down. Yeah, I know, Lynette, I'm telling you, I was scared. It would have been better if I'd gone in that night and discovered it, because then that wouldn't have been leaning on it for as long as it did, because it leaned on it for a while. But that goes to show how well built they are, right? It was supporting a shelf that was not light. So I was telling our tech that the bracket is one of those shelves that the bracket's on the wall and then it like lips over the bracket. There's a bracket on the shelf. And I was telling him the bracket on the wall was fine, didn't pull out, but I think what happened, some of the screws on the shelf itself bracket pulled out. And he's like, well, I have some screws. I'm like, oh no, that thing's going out of my house. It's not being hung back up in my house ever. Hi from Denver. No, it was a non-earthquake. That's right. Thank God I wasn't in there sewing. That thing would have knocked me out. Would have hit me right on the head. Hey, Birdie. Oh, Birdie says it's hot in Denver. The country's been having some bad weather. I was watching somebody who was in Virginia Beach. Oh my gosh, you could hear the thunder. It was serious thunder. All right, my friends, so I'm going to switch this over to the scan and cut. I'm not going to take the mat there yet because it can get in the way. Because we're going to start designing. So yeah, it is pretty, isn't it? I'm going to switch over to the scan and cut. Oh, wait a minute. No, this one. That's the one I want. I'm going to leave my mic with me because you guys say I'm too quiet. That must be because my mom always told us to be quiet, be quiet. All right. Use your indoor voice. Oops, gosh, I hit the wall. Oh, I forgot to get my stylus out. No, I didn't. Or probably my Vanna got it out for me.
Exactly. How did you know?
Because you're so smart. Selima's been busy, busy, busy. She taught classes 3 days in a row. All right, my friends, so we're going to go to pattern. We're going to go to our shapes. And we're going to scroll down till we find the one that looks like the banner. Hopefully I remember how to do this, right? Okay, it's this guy. And we're going to say set. Oh my gosh, now I forgot how big I made it. Well, that's okay, because this is demo purposes only. We're going to actually use my file, so it's not important that I have a brain dead. All right, now notice that these are straight edges, right? But, oh wait, let's go into edit, object edit, and let's rotate it. Let's rotate it 180 total degrees, okay? We're going to say okay. Now, I could have cut it this way with just that straight edge, but I want to make it look like it was wavy, like kind of like the rickrack. So I'm going to add, I'm going to go back to pattern, and I'm going to go to this section here that's kind of like borders and, you know, don't forget you got this stuff, okay? And you can repurpose it. So I think they meant this for like scrapbooking functions where people would use this, you know, in the scrapbooking. They would have little borders on their pages. I think that's kind of what this was meant for. But we're going to use it, we're going to repurpose it. Let's go find, back to the first page. Here we go. I want this one. That looks like rickrack. And we can reduce it a little bit. Actually, well, that's okay. Let's reduce it a little bit, just so it's a little more manageable. All right, and we're going to say set. Now see, it's still a little bit big for this guy, but that's okay. We can make this guy, let's make this guy, oops, sorry. Come on, baby. I'm getting him out of the way. Let's just see how big this is. Object edit. I think I wanted it to be like 8 inches. So let's just go ahead and make this 8 inches, okay? My friends. I think Selima's watching the comments.
I am.
She is. Oops. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact. And like I said, I'm going to use the file I originally created to actually cut it. Okay, so that's 8 inches. How big is this one? So we need to rotate this first. Let me move this out of the way. I'm kind of all over the place tonight, huh? We need to take that and rotate it because we want it to mirror this angle here. So let's just, if we rotate it 90, that's too much. So let's go back a few degrees. That looks pretty good. Looks like it's going to line up. Okay, so we're going to say okay. Now let's go back to size. Because see what happens is the height and the width change. Now the width is like measuring this whole square, not just this rickrack. So we're going to make this, what was it, 8 inches? And we aren't going to worry about the height. I'm sorry, we're not going to worry about the width because we're going to adjust it. We're going to make it, actually we'll move it into place. Maybe that width is okay. Oops. I wish this was like the Solaris or the Luminaire where you could key in the height you want. There we go. Now in theory, it's going to be about the same length as that. So we're going to say okay. Let's move it out of the way. And move this guy kind of over here. Let's pick the rickrack again. Let's call that rickrack. And let's +1 it while we're here. So we're going to have one for each side. And then while that one's selected, let's rotate it so it looks like it'll angle up with there. And we can always adjust our rotation a little bit. Ooh, that's like perfecto a mundo. All right, so now the goal is we're going to have this rickrack overlap here, and then we're going to weld them. It's a little tricky, and the reason why it's a little tricky is, and I'll show you, is if it doesn't overlap correctly, it'll leave holes. So what you want to do is I don't know if you can see it, but where the valley is, you want that valley to be completely on your banner part. So you kind of want it so it's like in the middle almost. Because if not, it'll leave little holes. Remember, these arrows are to move our screen. So if you don't have the valley, this part, onto the banner itself, I think we can scooch it a little more. It'll leave a little hole. And it's no big deal, you'll just go back and move it some more. We're going to try to get it right the first time. Because you don't have all night, right? You guys got places to go, people to see. But we're glad you're spending this time with us. We really value it. And then, see, this one's not, it's not happening that good, right? Let's go up here. Well, actually, we can move it closer. But I think on this one, I'm going to go in and change the angle a little bit. Because I'm not happy. So I'm going to rotate a little bit. That was a little bit too much. So let's go back that way. Let's do it by 1% increments. I think that's better. Now I think we'll be able to move it into place better. See, it's like a play thing. Let me check comments because Mrs. Lena stepped out a minute. Yeah, she's my Vanna. Lots of times I get to be her Vanna, which is total pleasure. Okay, here we go. Now this one, I think I can move him up a little bit. Okay, we don't want it, we kind of want that to be even with the top of the banner. We don't want it, I also make kind of a weird jutty cut. We don't really want that. We want it kind of flush if we can. Oops, I'm moving the screen, not the thing. Alrighty, here we go. Come. And if there's a little jut, it's okay. Alright, now let's scroll down here. Let's see how we are looking. Okay, it looks like this guy needs to move over this way a little bit. Oop, too far. So the goal is, remember, to kind of have it in the middle of that. And we're going to go see if we were successful. Okay, I kind of like it. I kind of like it like that. So I'm going to say okay. And once again, okay. I'm going to go into my selection. I'm going to select all. So now the two rickracks are selected and my banner is selected. So I'm going to say okay. I'm going to go to Object Edit and I'm going to weld it. So it's going to get okay to weld pattern outline. It's irreversible. Oh my gosh, it's perfect. See, there's no little holes. It's perfect. It's one solid thing. So I'm going to say okay. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So you can do what you want. You are the designer. Now, because this probably isn't exactly like the ones I previously cut, I'm going to just say home, not save it. Say home and say okay to delete. I just wanted to show you how I designed it. So I saved this to Selima's machine. I'm going to go down, and there it is. There it is. So I'm going to say okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and load my mat. And so that's it. So I'm going to change the camera to show the scan and cut. There we go. Notice the black blade is installed. It's the black blade. So now this mat was giving me a little trouble, so I'm going to kind of hold it firmly down in the center. I'm going to load my mat. See, it's feeling a little persnickety. That's okay. It can have its moment. Alright, let me get dead on. Happens to the best of us. Okay, it can be a little persnickety if it wants. We're going to make it work. So I just put pressure on it because I don't know why the mat wants to veer off on the left side. It's okay. We got it going. It's fine. We're going to say start. Don't panic. It'll be fine. You guys can see it scanning. All right. Oh, the flags look like a tornado. It kind of does. Oof. I don't like tornadoes. They scare the EBGBs out of me. Let me go see if I can fade my back. Oh, my background is faded. Let's see if we can get dark. No, that doesn't help. Let's go back to the faded and say, okay. Now, I think, it's super hard to see. But see, the red boundary box, because we have it selected, is within the fabric. So I think we're going to be like totally okay. So we're going to say okay here. We're going to please select. We're going to select cut. And, oh, cool. Our half cut is off. If it had been on, we would have went to the wrench. We would have scrolled down and we would have turned it off. Because with fabric, we need it off. So to recap, I am using the standard mat and the standard blade because the fabric I have on here has a backing on it. That's why. So we're going to say start. And it's only going to take a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and do both of my fabrics. Cut both of them. So everybody good? Are you got plans for the 4th of July? Oh, you can't see? Can you see now, Lynette? Oh, you couldn't see where the banner was on the fabric, I think you're saying. Yeah, I could hardly see it, so I can understand that. Sorry about that. So you guys got any plans for the 4th of July? Can you believe it? It's like 4th of July already? I can't believe it. Well, I'm going to unload the mat. I'm going to leave it right there because, we are going to come right back. So we're going to our overhead. Do you have, yes, I do, Lynette. I have a fusible on the back of the fabric. It's the Floriani applique. So, here we go. Floriani applique. It's my fave for this type of application. But others work. Sometimes old dogs can't learn new tricks, so we just use what we're used to, right? So anyway, I was asking, do you guys have any plans for 4th of July? Stay home and settle. Oh, I know. I am so upset. We had fireworks already. My poor greyhound. She didn't used to react, but she's blind now, so then all the other senses get what do you want to call it? Amplified, right? So probably her hearing is more sensitive. So she I had to put a thunder coat on her. I had to give her I turned the radio on to a jazz station, and then I gave her these treats that have melon. What is that stuff? Now I can't think of it because I screwed it up and I can't think of what it's really called. Anyway, it's that calming stuff that starts with an M. So I gave her that, and you're only supposed to give her 3. I usually give her 5. That night I gave her 10, and she was so good. She didn't come in and bother me. She just zonked out. And then I was like, got up in the morning, I realized she hadn't come in. I'm like, oh my God, I OD'd the dog. She was fine. No plans of now, probably just watch the neighbors show fireworks. I haven't wasted my I know that. Yes, melatonin, there you go. I don't know why that word escapes me. Okay, here's our second fabric. We're gonna, since it doesn't take long and we're just chatting, I'm gonna go ahead. Going to Venice, Florida tomorrow for an early 4th of July. Ooh, that sounds delicious. That sounds really fun. So I used to go to Florida once in a while. My husband worked for TRW. In fact, I met him in Florida. Long story. Nice story, but long story. Anyway, I met him in Florida while he was there for lunch. It was fun. We had such a good time. And then we went to, one time so that was Cocoa Beach, and then one time we went to Sanibel. Oh my gosh, that place is beautiful. You sit on the front lawn watch it. Yeah, illegal fireworks, thank you. They're illegal in our town too. So, guess what? The Long Beach is having an international quilt show at the convention center, and AAA Sewing and Fabric's going to be there. I can't look at it right now. I think it was 7:55. So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. So I think that's July 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's open from 10 to 5. Please come see us. And if you tell us that you're a member of this group, we're going to give you an extra special little something something. So please come see us. All right, here we go. Hello from Tennessee. Oh, the tape I'm using is R&K pink embroidery tape. Oh, cool, Fancy Pants. You're going to go to the quilt show. Good, you got to come see us. I know, these people, these fireworks people, they got more money than I got. Okay, let's go back to the scan and cut. And I'm going to show you the screen for a minute. Hang on, which camera am I on? So many cameras. So many cameras. All right, let's load this mat again. This time I want to show you the screens, and then I'll switch it back so you can watch it. I know you guys like to watch it, but I want to show you how you get back from here back to doing oops, I just bumped the camera. I probably knocked it all out of whack. Okay, yes, I have the right camera. Okay, I'm going to go back because I want to scan again, because Lord knows I might not have got it on there right. All right, there we go. You're welcome, Diana. Oh, good. Well, Bertie, I guess that's good that you can have fireworks shows. I wish our city has fireworks show, but people like to put on their own thing. So I'm just moving it down teeny tiny bit. Just teeny tiny bit. So I'm good. So I'm going to say okay. And I'm going to say please select and cut. And before I say start, I'm going to change cameras because I know you all like to watch it, right? Okay, here we go. Start. So I scanned the background, placed my fabric, made sure I was in place. And now we're cutting again. So we are like halfway through. Well, we're more than halfway through because we did the designing phase. So that wasn't too hard to do, right? It was easier this time than when I was doing it at home. I don't know why. But it was. Oops. Hold up a little bit. It's all right. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. It's good. Okay, I'm going to say okay. Oops. Okay, and unload the mat. So let's go back to the overhead. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could make fireworks that just shot off pretty lights. You know, the light part, but not the noise part. I'd be good on that. The other night, it sounded like this cherry bomb went off right outside my dining room window. So I went outside because I'm not afraid. I'll confront those people. And my neighbor came outside too. So we were both out there going, where are they? Where are they? But they were, I don't know. They weren't on our street. I don't know where they were. We're shooting off some loud stuff. There we go. So there's our second flag. Okay, now we're going to put our standard mat aside and we're going to go to the fabric mat. Hopefully the fabric mat is pretty darn sticky. We'll see. Let's see how tacky it is. It's pretty tacky. All right, now this, see I said mirror, so I've got to remember because it'll really mess it up if I don't mirror it. So I'm going to tape it just because I have the tape here. What's I going to say? I was going to say something super important now I don't remember. So anyway, we are, I know what I was going to say. So this fabric isn't just like I took the fabric off cut it and put it on here. I Terrio Magicked it. I think I Terrio Magicked it 3 times. So I sprayed it, actually 6 times, because I sprayed it, ironed it, flipped it over, sprayed it, ironed it. And I repeated that process 3 times. Because I need this fabric. And the Terrio Magic will wash out. It's not like you're going to walk around with this cardboard fabric on you. Now let me think. We need to show the scan and cut screen again, because I got to show you how I'm going to mirror images, because I don't want to forget. I better take the mirror image off this fabric though, or else we don't want to cut that part. And I'm bringing my fabric blade with me, and I'll show you when I swap it out. Okay. So here we are. We're showing the scan and cut. I'm going to just load the mat. Because you guys are cool with that, right? You don't need to see me load the mat. All right, here we go. So we loaded the mat. I want to recap fabric mat. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to go to Edit. I'm going to go to Object Edit. And I'm going to mirror image this. Because it's the back. And see, it did. This part changed, right? It was going to the right, now it's going to the left. Okay, cool. So now we're going to say OK. And we're going to say OK again. We're going to scan it. And then the settings will stay the same as far as that. We'll select cut and the half cut is off. So the fabric mat is like super, super sticky. You can also clean it with the baby wipes, alcohol-free. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Alcohol-free, fragrance-free. Oh, I couldn't think of what it was. I'm going to say OK, and we're going to select cut. But before I cut, I'm going to show you the scan and cut so I can show you that I'm putting in the fabric blade. Okay, here's the standard blade, standard black blade. That's our standard auto cut blade. There you go. And we're going to just put that bubba aside and we're going to put in the gold. So the color, just so happens, the blade color matches the matte color. Use the gold blade with the gold mat. All right, so we're ready to start. And we're finished. So we're going to say OK and unload the mat. And move it overhead. I'm just like switching chairs, switching cameras, all over the place tonight. All right, here we go. Let's see how we did. And then we'll cut the second one out. Because why not? Get a project done, right? But I'm not going to, no, I can do it. No. I don't need to iron it. Oh, super sticky. Super sticky. So I know there's a lot of people like fireworks. My husband loved fireworks. But when you get a dog who doesn't like fireworks, it's not fun. I'll forgo the tape on the next round. See how it goes, because this tape is really sticking to this. Okay, I'm going to forgo the tape on our next round. I was babysitting a friend's dog one time over 4th of July. And truthfully, I've been pretty lucky. Most of my dogs haven't been afraid of fireworks. Just the last 2 have been. Anyway, I was watching my friend's dog, and I couldn't find it. I looked everywhere, and it had jumped into the bathtub because it was afraid of the fireworks. All right, did she cut? Wait a minute. Scare me. I thought it didn't cut. Like, what the heck? All right, so there we go. 1 down, 1 to go. See, I didn't do as good. You know what? I didn't get out the little scraper, so I'm going to kind of bend the mat and pull it up. Perfecto mundo. So anyway, I was afraid I lost my my friend's dog, and it was in the bathtub. Poor thing. It was shaking like a leaf. All right, here we go. I'm going to lay this down. Let's try it. Let's be brave. Let's try it without the tape. Because I was having a hard time getting that tape off of there. Just spraying it down really good. I think she's good. Okay, let's continue the process. So I'm going to load it, and we're going to go back. So let me show you the screen again. I'm going to go back and rescan for this fabric's got fuzzy wuzzies on it. I hope it's not going to interfere. Fuzzy wuzzies. Okay, we're going to go back, scan. So, speaking of 4th of July, so the 4th of July is Tuesday, right? So normally, okay, we look good. Normally, Salima would be doing an IQ, but because it's 4th of July, there won't be a demo next week. Okay, I'm going to go please select, cut. And let's change cameras. So that's another announcement. No demo next week. And start. Dun, 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 dun. So we are finished with the scan cut for today. So let me just do a little housekeeping here. I'm going to take the fabric blade out because that's not a blade we commonly use. Put the black blade in. Now I'm going to hit home and turn this baby off. Okay, so then let me go to the overhead again. There we go. So before I oh, I know, I'm gonna miss you guys too. So we have this handy dandy case for our scan and cut blades. And in one of the demos, we marked it. It's kind of hard for you to see. But we put labels on. So I know I have a label for a fabric blade, so it's going in there. We gotta keep organized. Got to keep organized. That way we don't lose things. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna peel away again. So it's always kind of scary because it looked like it didn't cut, but it did. It's playing tricks on me. All right, I'm gonna take it off. Kind of folding the mat back and then pulling up. All right, so here we go. We have our flags cut. So let's go. We have this flag, the back, and this flag, the back. And then this flag is the front, and this flag is the front. So now what we want to do is we want to, Floriani has, one side is the fusible, and then the other side has like this freezer paper type stuff over it. And then when I peel this off, it's sticky. So the trickiest part is to peel it off. So there we go, I peeled it off. And you just use an iron to iron it on, regular iron. And now what we want to do, the goal is to get them to match as closely as possible, right? Ooh, sticky, sticky. So I'm going to bring this one, and I'm going to bring it down on it. Oops. And it's repositionable, by the way. So if I get it a little off, I can just pull it up and reposition it. It's a little teeny tiny bit off, but I think it's okay. There, that's it. And then I'll once I can get to my sewing machine, I'll sew it. I think I can get to my sewing machine pretty soon. I actually cleaned up most of it was thread. I cleaned up most of it, so that's cool. All right, once again, let's see if I can do a better job this time. Which is easier, going this way or that way? I don't know. So, ooh, why am I so far off? Maybe it's easier to start at the bottom. Oops. This thing's so sticky. We were busy today. Man, oh man, oh man, oh. Which is always a good thing, right? Don't complain about being busy. Okay, it's slightly off, but almost a little more off. Don't look too close. And there we are. So, the fabric all came from AAA Sewing and Fabric. And the fusible on the back is Floriani, Applique, I think it's called Applique Wonder. And I also got that AAA Sewing and Fabric right here. I can see the fabric. Well, you know, some of it, we did have a fabric sale last week and we featured patriotic fabric. So if you register on Comment Sold with AAA Sewing and Fabric, you can probably still buy the fabric online. And I'm not sure if she might, I don't know if she has Floriani Applique on Comments Sold or if she has it on the website. I'm not sure. But that's that. And then, well, let's bring our final. You won't be able to see it all because it's long, right? And I already put pins in where I want to sew these guys at. I kind of spaced it out. And I was kind of looking at, so I have red and then the white and then the blue one. So I was thinking I'd put the flag one here next to the popsicle one and we'll pin it like I'm going to sew it. You could also use like fabric glue, I guess. I don't know, I'm just not a fan of gluing stuff if I can sew it. Something like this, so it really wouldn't matter, but I know a lot of people glue everything. Not a fan, not a fan. All right, here we go. Oh, I lost a pin along the way. I think Slim has a pin. I try to like equally space them out before I sew it. I'll try to see if it's equally spaced out. So we'll hang this by the cash register. I better hurry up and, well, we can leave it out for a while. It doesn't have to just be for the 4th. And this can be for Memorial Day and Labor Day too, right? I'm going to steal a pen from Salima. Oh. I guess I won't steal a pen from Salima. Oh, there's one. Maybe I shouldn't take it because it's like our only one. All right, here we are. So that is what we've got. Do we have, let me face you guys. Do we have any questions? Cute and festive, yes. Oh, I know, the giant red rickrack is super cute. So this is what I was thinking, because I like things to look good, come and go on. So I was thinking about sewing, oh, maybe I don't need to. I was thinking about doing like this, sewing rickrack on this side too. You know what would be better? Okay, if I was going to glue, this is what I would do, glue this, the rickrack to the back. Because it'd be hard to sew them on at the same time and make sure you lined them up right? You are welcome for the class, Lorraine. So, my friends, that's all I have, unless you have questions. Thank you, Lynette. Remember, if you're local or if you're not, it's an international quilt show, so I'm sure people are coming in town for it. So it's next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 to 5. So that's the 6th, 7th, and 8th, 10 to 5. We're in booth 755. Oh, Doris, I don't know if I'd want to do that. I don't know. You could, but I don't know if I want to do that. It might get a little bit too thick. I'm not sure. Okay, Mickey, you have a good 4th of July. Y'all have a good 4th of July. I'm thinking, like, I want some barbecue ribs. I think that sounds excellent. Thanks, Deborah. Thanks, Terry. Lynette. I'm pretty sure I pulled out some fabric for tomorrow night, Lynette, so I'm pretty sure you're going to see us tomorrow night. You might not see us next Wednesday night because they have to set up they have to go set up the quilt show. I'm going to work the store and they're going to go set it up. Thanks, Birdie. Yeah, happy holiday, Lynette. Gosh darn, you know what July means. Not only does 4th of July come in July, but guess what else? We start thinking about Christmas. Christmas in July. So, maybe we should start thinking about Christmas projects. How wide is the rickrack? Let me measure it. How would you measure rickrack? I guess it'd be like 3/4 of an inch. Or, you know what? Here, let me change it over here. Overhead. Actually, it'd be an inch. See? 1 inch. From peak to peak, it's an inch. And that's cute rickrack. I love rickrack. It's fun. It's fun. All right, my friends. That's all I have for you tonight. So you guys go out and have a good night. Thank you once again for spending time with us. We really, really like it. We know time's valuable and it's valuable. So we appreciate it. Thank you for all the time you spend with us. Thank you for all your support. And go out and have a great night. Take care, everybody. Bye. Till next time. Bye, my friends. Looking for the right button here. There it is.